Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I would just like to start off my speech by giving you some background on how the speech came to be. And what inspired me to write this speech was a personal incident that happened to me a couple weeks ago. It just really kind of affected me and just got me thinking, and even though it kind of turned out to be a negative experience, I'm glad it happened because all experiences, whether they're good or bad, teach you something about life. Otherwise, it would just be hard to learn by yourself. Having said that, I would just like to share with all of you a proverb that goes, "Speech is silver, silence is golden." And what that basically means is that speech is less valuable than silence, that it's always better to keep silent than to speak up. Although that may be true some of the time, I believe that there are times where you need to speak up and get your voice heard. I'm sure that all of you have moments you can think of where you need to say something but chose not to because you were afraid. Having experienced that many times myself, I learned that fear is a big factor in what prevents you from saying what you need to say. For the rest of my speech, I'll be going over a few reasons why it's important that you gather the courage to speak up. The first reason is that you should speak up for the greater good. With the situation that I was in, I was a part of a team with a leader and teammates. And as with all teams, we had a goal to work towards. But the thing was, our leader instructed us to try and achieve our goal through dishonest means. And right away, when I heard that, it just kind of struck a chord in me. And I was thinking, this isn't right. And I was looking around, my teammates were actually listening to her. And I was like, you know what, my first impulse was to not say anything. I didn't want to cause any trouble. I was just thinking, I don't have to do it her way, I can just do it my way, which was the honest way, and I don't have to say anything about it because I don't want to start anything that could turn out messy. But as I looked around, I looked at my teammates, and I was thinking, what would happen if I were to stay silent? How would they be affected? Because right now I'm thinking about how I would be affected, not about them. So I thought, okay, if I stay silent, then they're just going to go throughout life just thinking that it's okay to justify being dishonest because in order to achieve a goal, and that their leader told them to. And I didn't want them to just continue on thinking that it's okay to do that. So that was what motivated me to speak up, is that I wanted to do it for their sake. So I spoke up, and that's what happened. I think keeping the well-being of the other people in mind would motivate people to speak up. Moving on, the second reason why you should speak up is that you would be making a difference. Sometimes we find ourselves in situations where you have something on your mind and you know people are thinking the same exact thing, but no one says anything. And the problem with this scenario is that it's not just one person that's keeping silent, it's a whole group of people. And in situations like that, it calls for you to take the initiative. And being that one voice that speaks up, it can be a little bit frightening, but that one voice is going to be the one that makes a difference. You would be changing the direction of where things are headed, and you would also be the one adding value to the situation as well. Besides addressing the problem, you would also be inspiring others to do the same as well, because when you're voicing your opinion about something, you're communicating the thoughts and values that stem from your mind, or that stem from your beliefs and core values that make up who you are. And there's something about seeing someone stand up for what they believe in that inspires everyone to do the same. On the flip side, however, you may also find yourself in situations where you have to stand up for something that goes against what everyone else believes in. And you might hold up an opinion that might be unpopular with someone or with everyone else, and you're afraid of what others may think of you if you were to say it. which leads me to reason number 4, which is the fact that you shouldn't live your life trying to please other people. In other words, who cares what other people think? You shouldn't go along with something just because you shouldn't go along with something you don't believe in just because you're afraid of what others might think if you do. How you live your life shouldn't revolve around other people's opinion of you. The only opinions that matter are the ones that belong to you and the ones that belong to the people that you love, or the people that love you for who you are. When you're basing your actions on the fear of what others may think of you, you're not really acting in accordance with your true self. What you're doing is foregoing the values and beliefs that make up who you are in order to please others. And what kind of a way to live life is that? I believe that Dr. Seuss said it best with his famous quote, "Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind." Besides speaking up, there are a lot of other things that we don't do in life because our fears hold us back. And even though that situation I was in, I ended up getting in trouble for because I spoke up, I got in trouble for it, but I don't regret it. Because the thing is, I stood up for what I believed in. And I impacted the lives of the people around me in a good way, I hope. And I try to live my life with a purpose, with just because everything you do, it impacts other people, and I just want to be a positive impact wherever I can. And I think that's the one message that I would like to impart, is to live your life with purpose, and just keep in mind that everything you do impacts other people, whether you realize it or not. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa. That was a fantastic speech. Our next speaker